Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Friday edition of Source 16 News. I'm Eddie Owen. Thanks for joining us. A Todd County woman has died from injuries she suffered in a car crash that happened earlier this month. 67-year-old Marie Smith of Guthrie was riding as a passenger in the car of Cherie Leroy of Big Rock, Tennessee on Kentucky 181 Friday, March 4th around 11:30. Todd County Sheriff's officials say Leroy crossed the center line into the southbound lane into the path of William Alfaro of Clarksville's GMC van. Now, according to reports, Alfaro attempted to avoid a collision but was unsuccessful. Both Leroy and Smith were flown to Vanderbilt Hospital for their injuries. Smith died as a result of her injuries last night at Vanderbilt. A Fort Campbell man was indicted by the Christian County Grand Jury today for allegedly assaulting a police officer back in 2009. 28-year-old Jason Burnett is charged with second-degree assault on a police officer, tampering with physical evidence, and third escape, among other charges. According to his indictment, after fleeing the Oak Grove Police Department for nearly hitting a road sign on US 41A and driving under the influence, Burnett allegedly attacked an officer at a station where the officer possibly sustained a broken arm. He was booked into the Christian County Jail on October 12th on a $19,500 bond and was released from jail a week after his arrest. Well, starting today, Christian County Middle School students will now have a new way to develop their skills into becoming tomorrow's leaders, thanks to a new program. Here's Source 16 News reporter Marie Fainter with more on the story.
Christian County Public Schools officially launched a pilot program designed to promote character and leadership development in local middle school students during a special ceremony at North Drive Middle School.
A leadership curriculum inside the schools would be perfect because a leadership curriculum could teach them to start making goals for themselves and how to recognize the strengths that they have as individuals and the personality traits that can make those goals happen.
Project Partnership for All Student Success, otherwise known as Project PASS, offers 7th and 8th grade students an elective course called Junior Leadership Corps.
They are going to start learning their leadership attributes that they have, and that's where they're going to begin. It's in 4 courses, so they'll start really looking at themselves and what they have to give themselves in the school and the community.
The program, which launched in January, is currently being piloted in 6 school systems across the U.S., including Christian County.
Currently, there are 60 students at Hopkinsville Middle School and 40 students at North Drive Middle School. We have one instructor that covers both of those schools. He is Sergeant First Class Retired Davies.
Project PASS uses education military methodologies to provide students with a structured environment and offers a more personalized learning path.
Well, when they talked about it, when they came to interview us, to talk about it, I thought it'd be cool dealing with Army type stuff like that. That's why.
It was developed in conjunction with the U.S. Army and the National Association of State Boards of Education. Marie Fainter, Source 16 News.
I am loyal and patriotic. I am the future of the United States of America. I do not lie, cheat, or steal, or always be accountable for my actions.
Starting soon, you may see a Hopkinsville police officer patrolling on a new Harley-Davidson motorcycle. Lieutenant Mike Sice presented council members with a proposal to purchase a 2011 Harley-Davidson Electra Glide Police Special Motorcycle, equipped with a police package, in last night's Committee of the Whole meeting.
This bike can get in places that a cruiser can't. And the best example I can give you, and it's one that we discussed prior to this, was West 7th and North Drive, where the collisions happen there. It is an engineering issue because there's so much traffic going one way. I can't really hide a cruiser on the sidewalk there, but I can get this motorcycle there to watch the flow of traffic and monitor violations in that location.
Even though the city could amend the budget to fund the motorcycle purchase, some council members proposed holding off until next fiscal year, which begins July 1st. The council agreed to consider the proposal in an 8-4 vote with council members Fred Atkins, Charlie Henderson, Wesley Grimes, and Kimberly McCarley opposing. Also in the capital budget amendment, there was a proposal that would transfer Mayor Dan Kemp's Chevrolet Trailblazer 4x4 to the police department's drug unit and replace it with a 2011 Chevrolet Impala sedan.
he had no intent of asking for a vehicle in the budget going into next year or currently with the budget amendment. However, when it was brought to his attention that Chief Howley was going to request a four-wheel drive SUV in next year's budget, we saw an opportunity that made sense.
Meanwhile, the council forwarded a public improvement ordinance regarding street lighting and an ordinance that will enforce a no parking zone on Thomas Street. They also heard a presentation about Code Red, a reverse 911 system that makes geography-based telephone calls to residents and businesses when there's an emergency. The council will discuss a contract with the company during the next city council meeting in April. Well, the city of Oak Grove will receive recognition for their smoke-free policy next week. The Kentucky Center for Smoke-Free Policy and the University of Kentucky Medical Center is recognizing Oak Grove for their recent passage of an ordinance that prohibits smoking in restaurants. And Oak Grove residents doing spring cleaning will have a place to dump their trash. On April 1st and 2nd, residents can discard yard debris and household items into a dumpster that will be provided at Wades Way Park on Wades Way Lane and USA Video on Pembroke Oak Grove Road. Appliances and tires are not allowed to be dumped at these locations. In light of the recent natural disasters in Japan, many are wondering how they can help. Japanese companies have contributed significantly by providing jobs, donations, and volunteerism to Christian County. And now that they are in time of need, it's time to give back. The Hopkinsville Christian County Chamber of Commerce and Economic Development Council are partnering for a week-long fundraiser to provide aid for disaster victims. Businesses and individuals can send their donations to the Commerce Center at 2800 Fort Campbell Boulevard no later than next Friday. Checks should be made out to the American Red Cross, with Japan noted in the memo. More than 20% of the county's manufacturing and distribution workforce are employed by Hopkinsville's 9 Japanese companies. If you are looking for something to do over spring break or the weekend, you could visit the Pennyroyal Area Museum. During the month of March, the museum has a poster exhibit of the women's suffrage movement, sponsored by the National Women's History Project.
This timeline takes in the history of women's suffrage from 1840 to present day, and it's 8 panels, and it's quite interesting to go through each panel and to see where women began to speak out for their rights.
The exhibit also features the stories and history of 11 Hopkinsville women on display during the suffrage movement.
And one of them was able to vote just shortly after the 19th Amendment, giving women the right to vote. This woman from Hopkinsville made her first vote just shortly after that was passed in Congress in 1919.
Admission is $2 for adults, $1 for seniors, and children and members get in free. The Pennyroyal Area Museum is located at 217 East 9th Street, downtown in Hopkinsville. Hopkinsville Community College released its unofficial spring enrollment numbers for 2011 today. According to their preliminary figures, there was a 0.4% drop in student enrollment compared to last year. So far, 3,660 students are enrolled at the local college compared to 3,675 students last year. In addition, preliminary numbers indicate the number of full-time students attending HCC has increased 1.2%. The figures indicate 2,354 full-time students are currently enrolled at the college compared to 2,326 full-time students a year ago. Final enrollment numbers will be released on March the 30th. Living with dyslexia is a world many of us aren't familiar with. Dyslexia is a language-based learning disability that results in difficulty with language skills in reading, writing, and spelling. But a person won't know they're dyslexic unless they're screened. The Dyslexia Association of the Pennyroyal in Hopkinsville offers screenings and programs for people struggling with this disability.
And that child will experience frustration in school, and it carries over into the home. They usually have low self-esteem. as they get older, it can become even behavior problems. But if that child is screened early and remediated and worked with, and that child is taught like a dyslexic learns, then they can be very successful.
A psychologist performs the screenings on the patients, and if a person is diagnosed, the center offers programs to help them overcome their disability.
In our program, we use what we call a multi-sensory approach. We're teaching by the eye, seeing with the sounds, the ears hearing. We teach by feeling.
The center is taking appointments for dyslexia screenings in April. For more information, contact their office at 885-5804 or visit their website, hopkinsvilledyslexia.org. White Staffing Management is hosting a job fair tomorrow. Partners also participating will be WH Manufacturing and Denso Air Systems. The job fair will be held at the Holiday Inn in Hopkinsville from 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. For more information, contact Karen Flowers, 270-887-2121. Resiliency is key to success, especially in the Army. To ensure Fort Campbell's Currahees are up to par and resilient in any situation, officials held a 3-day semi-monthly course. Officials say the course is designed to promote mental, physical, and spiritual health to help soldiers during their deployments and when they return home. Major Randall Robison of Grand Prairie, Texas, says war shouldn't define a person. It should only provide a catalyst, a means of urging that helps shape a person. In addition, the course features classes on physical health, nutrition, proper sleep methods, spiritual application, leadership, and how to deal with stress. 8 sessions of the course have been completed since August 2010. Fort Campbell's Currahees were treated to a musical performance recently. The 101st Airborne Division's very own Dixieland Band. Officials say the New Orleans-style jazz performance offered the Currahees at Forward Operating Base Sharana in Afghanistan an escape from the norm. The band consists of 6 soldier musicians who play several instruments like trombone, clarinet, tuba, saxophone, and trumpet. Command Sergeant Major Marvin Hill of Memphis, Tennessee says, "It makes me happy to hear my song, especially since I am from Tennessee." The band will be traveling to 7 other forward operating bases and combat outposts in Paktika province to share their musical talents with their brothers and sisters in arms. A Marshall County woman is trying to bring a soup kitchen to Benton. After volunteering at the Paducah Community Kitchen, it will become Marcella Perkins' dream to begin one in Marshall County. Over 250 elected officials, church leaders, and other residents met recently and exchanged ideas for a countywide soup kitchen. Even though donations weren't being requested, organizers collected over $10,000. A second meeting is scheduled for next Tuesday night at 6:30 at the Marshall County High School cafeteria for anyone that is interested. Get your numbers ready. Tonight's Mega Millions jackpot, $201 million. Saturday's Powerball jackpot is $85 million.